third final you've lost in the space of 12 months is incredible. Compared with the West Ham final last year, what's changed? What did the match come down to? Why did you lose this game? I think we had more goal-scoring opportunities tonight than we did against West Ham. I think the team played a performance just like you should in a final. We afforded them the right number of chances. We had a number of opportunities to take the lead. And as I always say, you need to be clinical in matches such as these. You need an individual piece of magic, and they had that one match-winning moment in the final minutes of the game. I think there was a question mark over the challenge on Nikola Milenkovic initially before the ball was then played back into the middle, but we had plenty of opportunities to take the lead. We could have changed the course of the match. It's not easy to play against them. Their goalkeeper always launches the ball long. We knew that it might not necessarily be a quality match, a pretty game of football, but I think we could have done a bit more in the 2 periods of extra time when Ikone came on, when Beltran came on. I think we could have isolated them a bit more, but we did what we needed to. We're disappointed. We're disappointed because, as I've said, it's never easy to make it to a final in Europe. And losing like this 2 years in a row, when none of the teams dominated us, none of them peppered our goal with opportunities. We had the chances as well to lift the trophy, but unfortunately we're disappointed tonight. Hi, Vincenzo, I'll be a bit brutal with this question, but I wanted to ask you, given it's not the first time that you've been regretting individual mistakes, at the end of this long run with 3 finals, occasionally we think that, yes, your style of play can do a great deal, but ultimately individual players need to actually make the difference when they've clear-cut chances like they did tonight, and not only tonight. So, do you have regrets not only for tonight, but in general? Will you go away with those regrets? Because ultimately it comes down to the players on the pitch, especially your best players, who, rather than making the difference tonight, actually made you lose the match tonight. You all watched the match, and as I've just said to you, we could have scored a goal in 3 or 4 situations. But it's very difficult to make it to 3 finals. There are 3 very long, difficult runs. And then in the final knockout match, as I say, you always need to make sure that quality and clinical finishing isn't lacking. We afforded them 2 shots where Terracciano did a good job at parrying the ball away. We weren't short of that. What we lacked was we could have scored 2 goals in the first half. We could have even equalised with Ikone in the 120th minute. He had a nice opportunity, a lovely 1-2 with Beltran. But unfortunately, if you don't take these goal-scoring opportunities, in the Coppa Italia final we had plenty of them. We had them against West Ham as well, and tonight, and ultimately you do recriminate the fact that you didn't take those opportunities. It's difficult to take. It's never easy to make it into a final, and unfortunately Fiorentina, Florence, the fans, I understand their disappointment, their anger. It's the same that we're experiencing, and I am disappointed because today we all really believed that we could achieve something more, because we believed, we prepared well, we came here with a good feel-good factor. I saw the players were very focused, and from that perspective they produced a performance. But ultimately we have often lacked a cutting edge over the years, and that cropped up again tonight, and that prevented us from winning the match. Thank you, Vincenzo. Very quickly, I wanted to ask you, given that you're still 1 kilometre to go, if you will, there are some limits in terms of mindset, do you think? Or given that you were talking about the anger of the fans, I saw that you went up to the fans with the players after the full-time whistle. What did they say to you? What have you heard them say? No, I didn't hear what they were saying. As I've said, there is a huge deal of disappointment. We're gutted. There's no other words for it. No other words to describe matches such as these. Because this happens when you miss a lot of opportunities, you don't afford them too many chances, you play well, probably even better than the opposition. If you come here and they're better than you, then you just take your hats off to them. But that's not the case. It wasn't like that tonight. And I think Fiorentina could have actually won all three of these finals. And yet, nothing. Nothing, because maybe we were lacking something. In the future, I think we've got great foundations here with some young players. In the future, we need to pinpoint where it is that this team has some shortcomings. We mustn't make mistakes, and we must try and improve things where you haven't been able to make an impact. That's what Fiorentina need to do now. I think there are some incredible foundations which have been laid here, because it's a great legacy with these three finals, and all of the young guys here at Fiorentina will have a huge deal of experience from this. You need to pinpoint where it is you can improve, and Fiorentina can still go very far in the Coppa Italia, in Europe. Once again, they'll be in the Conference League next season, and as I've said, it's hugely disappointing, because we went very close again tonight, but hey, you have to learn to accept defeats as well. Wonderful run, defeats in the last kilometre that hurt, but you have to learn to accept those as well. I understand the disappointment, the tension, but I do need to ask you one question. You've said that Fiorentina will have to work to try and sort out these shortcomings. Can we consider that they'll be doing it with you at the helm or not? Look, I've spoken with the club president, and I will speak to him again in the upcoming days after the Atalanta game, and we'll see what my future holds, and we'll see what the future holds for Fiorentina. We'll try and identify how this group of players can improve, because I really believe that the bulk of these players will remain, and we'll see in the coming days. Thank you.